Hi, I'm Lisa Birnbach for Howdini.com, and we're going to talk about how to plan a dream wedding with event planner and author of Wedding for Dummies, Marcy Bloom. Hi.
Hi.
Does everybody need a wedding planner to get through this big ceremony and the party and the ordeal of it?
I don't think anybody who hasn't been married really understands just how much is involved. From the moment that you get engaged and need to come up with a guest list or figure out what invitations to send, or we spend hours in the post office looking at the right stamps that will match the invitation. You want to put an American flag stamp on this beautifully calligraphed frou-frou invitation, to what everyone's going to wear, and what the bride and the groom are going to wear, and what the ushers are going to wear, and the air conditioning, and the lighting, and the wine list, and the transportation, which is my least favorite part, but really, really important.
Somebody wants to hire a wedding planner. How much are they thinking about spending?
Well, there are day of or week of planners, might start about $5,000 these days, I think, and up to $100,000 depending on what's included.
Does a wedding need a theme to really cohere?
I think it's a good idea to have a hook. So even if the theme is a color, if it's pink and green, for example, the yuppie colors, so it keeps you on track so you're not all over the place. Or if romance is the theme, which may sound obvious, but some people are not into romantic looking flowers or romantic decor at all. They want something very contemporary, very sleek. So as long as you come up with something that keeps you on track.
Marcy, does the theme affect the venue or the other way around?
I think the venue is really affected only by the amount of people and the budget, frankly.
The budget. A lot of people want the lavish wedding they've dreamt about, but don't have the budget,
right,
or are amazed by how much everything costs. Right. Are there tips for brides who are really confounded by the money object, ways to cut corners that nobody will notice?
The number one tip, and I say it ad nauseum, I say it to friends, is cut the guest list. No matter what, if you have 300 people to feed and to sit at tables and put centerpieces on the tables, and so it's the guest list, and then if you want to get married on a Saturday night in Los Angeles or San Francisco or New York City or Chicago, there's a premium for that. So
a weekday wedding is a lot cheaper.
Thursday nights, which have become more and more popular, even Friday nights, perhaps at least a third less expensive, and Thursday nights even less than that, or Sunday brunch or Sunday evenings. Everybody cannot get married on a Saturday night.
Now, when somebody is going to see you to make an appointment to have you, Marcy, plan her wedding,
right,
she should be a little bit prepared, right?
I'm very grateful when people are not fixated on a date for some romantic or karmic or astrological reason before we find a space, because if you're coming to me in September and you want to get married December 15th in Manhattan, and that you've had your heart set on it, there aren't any spaces left.
Now, etiquette sort of suggests that you send out an invitation to your wedding, what, 6 weeks to 2 months?
6 weeks is, if you look in Emily Post, that's what they'll say, but that is really, these days, sort of short notice, particularly since there's so many destination weddings.
Right.
So for a destination wedding, I always suggest to save the date, and hopefully 4 to 6 months before.
Marcy, thanks so much. Great talking to you.
Thank you.
For Howdini.com, I'm Lisa Birnbach.